I'm here with Fred Earnest, President and CEO of Vista Gold Corp. Vista Gold holds the Mt Todd Gold Project, a permitted development stage gold deposit located in Northern Territory, Australia. And Vista Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange American and TSX under the symbol VGZ. Welcome back to the conference today, Fred. Nice to see you.
It's good to see you too. Thank you, Anna.
So you presented to investors earlier this year, and we're excited to hear the update on Vista Gold and the Mt Todd Gold Project. So for those who might not be familiar with Vista Gold, please give us an overview.
Yeah, Vista Gold is a Canadian corporation with headquarters in Denver, Colorado. Our principal asset is as you mentioned, the Mt Todd Gold Project, which is a ready-to-build development stage gold project located in the very northern part of the Northern Territory in Australia. Mt Todd is large scale, and as such, we have significant development optionality. We have a tremendous land package, and so we have, I think, a great opportunity for exploration success in the future. We enjoy advanced local infrastructure, strong community support, and as a result of previous studies, we've demonstrated the economic viability of the project. We're presently finalizing a new feasibility study that I believe represents a paradigm shift in our thinking about the project. And I believe it'll be a catalyst to accelerate value creation for our shareholders.
Wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit more about that new study.
Yeah, we launched the study in December of last year. Targeting we're designing to a throughput rate of 15,000 tons per day or 5.2 million tons per year. At that scale and a reduced scale, we're targeting a 60% reduction in the initial capex of the project. Previously, we had an estimated capex of over $1 billion. We're targeting 400 million as the new initial capex for the project. At the same time, as a result of raising the cutoff grade, we're targeting a 25% increase in the reserve grade for the project, and that will bring us very close to 1 gram of gold per ton. At this throughput and reserve grade with a 90% recovery, the project is estimated to produce between 150 and 180,000 ounces of gold per year. At just steady state. As I mentioned, we're preserving the option for future expansion. We will not be designing an expansion into this study, but the layout of the project is such that we will be able to expand the project at some point in time in the future. The study also incorporates some elements like contract mining, third-party power generation, construction practices and design concepts that are commonly used in Australia that we believe will result in high capital efficiency. And I guess most importantly for our viewers is that we expect to announce the results the latter part of July. So we're just 5 or 6 weeks away from announcing results.
Well, once those results of that new feasibility study are published later in July, talk a little bit about what is next for Vista.
Yeah, so one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to spend quite a bit of time on the road participating in conferences like this. We'll also be attending, it's probably the premier conference in Australia. It's called Diggers and Dealers. It's held in Kalgoorlie, Western Australia, the first week of August. And the objective of participating in conferences like that is to promote the results of the study, to help people become aware of and familiar with the project itself, and obviously engage one-to-one with potential transaction partners. And I'm very excited about that.
Perfect. And so the development of any project requires support from the local community. So talk a little bit about Vista Gold's relationship with your local community, including the Aboriginal people and the Northern Territory government.
Yeah, as you've stated, community support is crucial to the development of any project located in the Northern Territory of Australia. We enjoy great support for resource projects. Australia, for those who don't know, is a resource exporting country. It's part of their DNA. It's a big part of their gross national product. And so we enjoy great support for the development of the project. We work very closely with the Northern Territory government and are in frequent contact with them. At a local level, we're very close to the town of Catherine, about 30 minutes away, a town of 14,000 people. And then we will certainly have part of our workforce that lives in Catherine. And so we engage with the community on a regular basis. The project itself, the land where the project is located, is owned by the Jawoyn Aboriginal people. And they're one of the few groups that I'm aware of in Australia that actually has title to their land. Most manage their lands through government-sponsored land councils, but the Jawoyn actually own their land. They have a corporation. It's called the Jawoyn Association Aboriginal Corporation, and we have an agreement with them. I meet with their members of their board of directors on a quarterly basis. In fact, I was just in Australia last month and met with several members of their board. We talked about what we're doing with the new feasibility study, how it's going to change things, the slightly smaller footprint. We talked about employment opportunities. We're continually discussing Aboriginal business creation opportunities, and perhaps most importantly, we talk about what we're doing jointly and individually to protect heritage sites and respect their customs and the land that we work on. So I'm very comfortable that we have that our social license is firmly in place for the Mt Todd project.
Wonderful to hear. Can you also share with us Vista's strategy for the development of Mt Todd with solid gold production of more than 150,000 ounces of gold per year and an initial capex of $400 million?
Yeah, like I said, at the start, this is a big shift from where we were at before. Reducing the capex of the project and still maintaining a production level that's very respectable in any gold producing jurisdiction certainly opens the door to a number of different avenues. We continue to work toward and explore the avenues for the development of a joint venture with a producing company in Australia that has a track record of building mines and has the team to do that. We recognize that some of the people that we've identified as potential partners may not want to be a partner, and they would rather own Mt Todd outright. And we will open to consideration of a project level or corporate level transaction to sell the project at the right value. In other words, not just a premium to the market cap, but something that represents a greater portion of the intrinsic value of the project. And last, given the $400 million capex and the production level, we believe that there's the potential to develop Mt Todd on a standalone basis ourselves. We've begun exploring options with lenders, and in this gold market, we see some very strong encouragement that would lead us to believe that this is a very viable option for us if we can achieve our desired outcome in a partnering type of arrangement.
Wonderful. Devin asks if you can speak to your company's current burn rate and how much runway do you have with existing capital?
Yeah, at the end of the first quarter, we had $15 million in cash. Our burn rate is about $7 million a year. The feasibility study is about $2.5 million all in. And so we're looking at cash in hand that will take us through 2026.
And Raziel asks you to comment on the timeline for production, taking into account the smaller sized project you mentioned.
Yeah, we expect that whatever path we go down, that we're probably looking at a period of 12 months of some additional test work, followed by detailed engineering. Construction, early estimates are that we're looking at something on the order of 20 to 26 month construction period, at which time we'll achieve first gold production, and that ramp up will cover a period of an additional 6 months. So we're looking at something on the order of 3 to 3.5 years to be at full production.
And Esther asks, do you own the water rights?
At Mt Todd, water is an important issue, like it is at any operation. In the Northern Territory of Australia, we have two seasons. We call it the wet and the dry. During the wet season, we get about 1.3 meters for about 5 feet of rain. And the site includes a freshwater storage reservoir. That reservoir fills up every year and runs over. And we have received the authorizations to be able to use the water that accumulates in that freshwater reservoir. And so while we don't own the rights, we've been granted the rights to use the water that accumulates in the reservoir.
Perfect. Well, Fred, do you have any closing remarks for our viewers today?
I do. This is an exciting time for us. We're just 5 to 6 weeks away from announcing the results of the feasibility study. As indicated, I think that this is going to be an event that accelerates value creation for our shareholders. And we're very excited about what we're seeing in results so far. I believe that we're going to be very close to achieving our target of a $400 million CapEx. The grade is going to be very close to a gram per ton. And I think that this is going to be the paradigm changing event that unlocks value for shareholders. And so I encourage people to stay tuned and keep an eye on Vista Gold.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us with this update, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Thank you, Anna.
All right, everyone, thumbs up. They were supposed to come on next, but they had to push till July, so we'll see them next month. We'll be back at 3:25 Eastern with Region.